Cause of business failure risk are dash.
Right choice. All of the above is the best answer.
Non-store retailing does not include.
Clear logic. Your choice multiple shops is sound and 100% true.
Which is a characteristic of business.
Excellent choice. All of the above is the right answer.
A business can have full control over.
Well reasoned. The vision is the correct choice. A business is making a loss when dash. On track. Total costs exceed total revenues is the correct answer. The entrepreneurial process is dash. Perfect. How an entrepreneur turns their idea into a business is the correct choice.
What is meant by place in business?
Correct. Where a business is the right answer.
A method of measuring business size.
Nice work. You chose value of sales and it is correct.
Modern concept of business insist on.
Nice selection. Profit with service is the correct and valid answer.
Tertiary sector business activity is.
Right again. Providing services to customers and businesses is a valid answer.
Main methods of business expansion. You're right. Internal growth and external growth is the correct answer.
The total revenue of a business is. Strong choice. Quantity of units sold multiplied by the selling price is the right answer.
These are the debts of the business.
Valid point. Liabilities is true. When is a business making a profit? Smart move. When revenues are higher than costs is an accurate answer.
The purpose of business activity is.
Great job. To satisfy customer wants is the accurate answer.
What is the definition of business?
Excellent. An organization dedicated to produce goods and services is a brilliant choice. Sole trade is the business of dash. Exactly. One person makes sense and it is right choice. What is the purpose of a business?
Sharp thinking. To satisfy human wants and needs is the right choice. Why might a business want to grow?
Correct response. More profit is the most accurate answer.
What is the definition of revenue?
Good thinking. Income from the sales of goods and services is the right answer. The outcome of entrepreneurship is. You got it. Your choice enterprise is right.
How can business risk be reduced? Bravo. Carry out detailed market research is the answer.
Why should a business earn profit?
Nicely done. All the above is a solid answer. Access to larger consumer markets.
Solid response. Formal business advantage is a valid choice.
Non-profit organizations do what?
Good job. Your answer provide goods and services to business and individuals works well here. Formal sector plus informal sector equal to. Smart pick. The private sector is the correct choice. A retailer is an example of a.
Great thinking. Intermediary is the right choice. Specialized knowledge is required.
Well picked. Profession is the correct answer.
Financing is concerned with dash.
Well done. Capital is the right choice. A lawyer practicing in a court. You chose profession, and it is correct. A source document contains dash. Well picked. The business name and logo is the correct answer.
P says are organizations owned by.
Bravo. Government is the answer.
What type of business is Tesco? You chose Pelsey, and it is correct. Business cycle is also known as. Strong choice. Trade cycle is the right answer. Operating cost is high in dash. Sharp thinking. Traditional business is the right choice. Shareholders are the owners of. Great job. Limited liability companies is the accurate answer. Marine insurance involves dash.
On track. Insurance to cover goods and ship is the correct answer.
What is a sole proprietorship?
Correct response. A business owned by one person is the most accurate answer.
Dash has maximum risk involved.
Nicely done. Business is a solid answer. The office is a place in which. Exactly. All of the above makes sense, and it is right choice. Registration and permit costs. You got it? Your choice formal business disadvantage is right. A business is successful when. You're right. They sell products that customers want is the correct answer. Business environment includes. Nice selection. Forces, factors, institutions which directly or indirectly affects business is the correct and valid answer.
Define internal communication.
Well done. People within the business communicate with each other is the right choice.
Enterprise is the act of dash. Correct. Taking the risk of starting a business is the right answer.
A business owned by one person.
Valid point. Sole proprietorship is true.
Dash is the on the training. Right choice. Coaching is the best answer.
Fees is a component of dash. Excellent. Profession is a brilliant choice. A prospectus is issued for.
Right again. Inviting public for rising share capital is a valid answer.
What is ethics to do with? Good thinking. Right and wrong is the right answer.
The lifeblood of business.
Excellent choice. Finance is the right answer. Management is required in. Well reasoned. Both and is the correct choice.
An entrepreneur is someone.
Smart move. Someone who starts a new business is an accurate answer.
State the full form of B2.
Great thinking. Business to business is the right choice.
Entrepreneurship is dash.
Nice work. You chose starting and operating a business, and it is correct.
Dash has restricted entry. Good job. Your answer profession works well here. Intra-B commerce includes. Smart pick. Interaction between the different departments within the organization is the correct choice. What is opportunity cost?
Perfect. It is the next best alternative given up is the correct choice.
Who determines the price? Clear logic. Your choice customer is sound and 100% true. What is qualitative data? Solid response. Data involving information with no numbers is a valid choice. Principles of management. Smart pick are considered as the fundamental statements of truth is the correct choice. What can a business sell? Clear logic. Your choice goods and services is sound and 100% true. What is an entrepreneur? Right again. A person who starts a new business is a valid answer. The minimum wage is dash. Good job. Your answer, the lowest the business can pay its workers, works well here. What are consumer goods? You got it. Your choice goods and services sold to ordinary people is right. Access to business loans. You're right. Formal business advantage is the correct answer. Just in time means that. Sharp thinking. A business holds minimal quantities of stock is the right choice. Features of sole trader. Correct. No separate legal identity is the right answer. What is a sole trader? Right choice. One person who owns and runs a business is the best answer. What is caveat emptor? Excellent choice. Let the buyer beware is the right answer. Economic activities equal to? Great thinking. Business plus profession plus employment is the right choice. What is a franchise? Well picked. When a person buys the rights to a business is the correct answer. What is total costs? Perfect. All the costs of the business is the correct choice. What is recruitment? Valid point. The process by which a business hires staff is true. Why business fail? Bravo. Overexpansion and failure to plan for change is the answer. What is business? Well reasoned. A person's regular occupations is the correct choice. Is business good? Correct response. All of the above is the most accurate answer. A sole trader is? Great job. A business with one owner is the accurate answer. Pricing is when? Exactly. The business charges for products they sell makes sense and it is right choice. A business is? Nice selection. A company that sells goods and services is the correct and valid answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Smart move. Contact Narayan Changda is an accurate answer.